Welcome, beautiful souls. Today, let's journey inward through 5 timeless Buddhist stories, each a mirror for our own lives. These stories hold seeds of wisdom, sparks of insight that can shift your perspective and inspire real growth. As you listen, don't just hear the words, feel their essence. Reflect on how these tales echo your own challenges and triumphs. The magic lies in connecting ancient teachings to our modern lives. There's no single right answer, just what resonates with you now, so take a deep breath, settle in, and let's begin. Let these stories be a conversation with your soul. Our first story begins on a muddy path, a path much like the ones we all walk in our lives. It's a story of choices, of burdens, and ultimately, of freedom. It's a reminder that the most challenging journeys often teach us the most profound lessons. Where 2 monks, one senior, weathered by years of practice and wisdom, one junior, eager but still bound by rigid adherence to rules, walked in silence, their footsteps muffled by the earth, bound by vows forbidding contact with women. These vows were meant to protect their spiritual purity, to keep them focused on their path to enlightenment. At a swollen river, raging with the force of recent rains, they found a young woman in distress, her colorful kimono a stark contrast to the gray sky, unable to cross. The bridge had been washed away, leaving her stranded and anxious. The younger monk, focused intently on the letter of the law, looked away, his face a mask of discomfort, convinced they could not help without compromising their sacred vows. He saw only the prohibition, not the person in need. The older monk, his eyes reflecting years of cultivating compassion, seeing only a person in need, a fellow human being facing hardship, gently offered to carry her across. His heart guided him, not just the rules. He lifted her, carefully and respectfully, crossed the river, the water swirling around his bare feet, and set her down safely on the other side. She bowed deeply in gratitude, her eyes filled with relief, thanked him profusely and went on her way, disappearing down the path. The monks continued their journey, but the younger monk was deeply troubled, his mind racing, replaying the scene in his mind, unable to reconcile what he had witnessed with his understanding of their vows. Hours later, as the sun began to set, unable to contain himself any longer, his voice tight with judgment, he confronted the older monk. "How could you break our vows so blatantly and carry her? You have defiled our sacred commitment." The senior monk replied calmly, his voice gentle and without accusation. "I set her down by the river hours ago. Why are you still carrying her? I helped her in that moment, but I released the situation. You are the one who is still holding on to it." This story is a powerful lesson in letting go. A reminder that true freedom comes not from rigid adherence to rules, but from the wisdom to discern what truly matters. How often do we carry burdens, old arguments, festering resentments, unspoken regrets, harsh judgments, long after the moment has passed, allowing them to weigh us down and cloud our present? We cling tightly to the past, replaying events, reliving hurts, weighing ourselves down with unnecessary baggage that prevents us from moving forward with lightness and joy. True discipline isn't just about blindly following rules, but understanding their spirit, compassion, empathy, and the ability to see beyond the surface to the deeper needs of ourselves and others. The real practice, the true path to inner peace, is learning to put down our mental baggage, to forgive ourselves and others, and walk forward, present and unburdened, embracing each new moment with an open heart. Let go of what no longer serves you, the thoughts, the beliefs, the relationships that hold you back from living your fullest potential. The past is gone, unchangeable. Only this moment right here and now matters. It is in this present moment that we have the power to choose, to heal, and to create a new future. Release your judgments, of others, and most importantly, of yourself. Forgive yourself for past mistakes and embrace your imperfections. Walk your path with a lighter heart, filled with gratitude, compassion, and a deep sense of peace. The world is full of muddy paths, challenges, and obstacles, but we choose what we carry, the attitude with which we face them, and the burdens we allow to weigh us down. Compassion, for ourselves and others, is the true guide, the light that illuminates our path and helps us navigate the complexities of life. Let's move forward, unburdened, embracing the freedom that comes from letting go of the past and living fully in the present. What are you still carrying? What unresolved issues, what lingering resentments, what unspoken words are weighing you down? Is it time to set it down? Is it time to forgive, to release, to let go and move on? The journey is lighter, the path is clearer, and the heart is more open when we let go of what no longer serves us. The lesson? Release and be free, free to live, free to love, free to experience the joy and beauty of this precious life. Let's continue on our journey towards greater understanding, compassion, and freedom. In a small village nestled amidst rolling hills and ancient trees where life moved at a slower, more deliberate pace, an old woman searched frantically, her brow furrowed with worry and her hands trembling slightly as she pattered the ground. She was desperately seeking her lost sewing needle, a tiny but essential tool that had slipped from her grasp outside her humble hut. The sun was beginning to set, casting long shadows that danced around her as she continued her search. Neighbors, hearing her distressed cries, gathered around, their faces etched with concern and a willingness to help. They understood the importance of even the smallest things in their close-knit community, and they were eager to assist their elder in her time of need. Together they began combing the dusty street, their eyes scanning the ground for the glint of metal, hoping to find the precious needle that had been lost. Each villager meticulously examined every nook and cranny, driven by a shared sense of responsibility and compassion. After a long, fruitless search that stretched into the twilight hours, their backs aching and their spirits flagging, a young man, known for his sharp wit and observant nature, paused and asked, "Grandmother, where exactly did you lose it?" With a sigh, she replied, "Oh dear, I lost it inside my house, near the hearth." Bewildered and slightly exasperated, he asked, "But grandmother, then why are we searching out here in the street where the light is fading?" She answered with a shrug, "Because, my dear, there's more light outside than there is inside my dark little house. It's simply easier to see out here." This seemingly simple response, born from the lips of an old woman, reveals a deep and profound truth. That we often tend to look for solutions and answers in the easiest and most obvious places where the light is brightest and the path seems clearest, rather than confronting the real problem head-on, even if it lies in the darkness and shadows of our own making. We search for happiness, that elusive feeling of contentment and joy, peace of mind and a sense of meaning and purpose in the external world, in our possessions, our relationships, and our achievements, where it's comfortable, familiar, and readily accessible. We seek validation and fulfillment in the things we can see and touch, but the answers we truly seek, the ones that will bring lasting joy and fulfillment, are often hidden within, in the dark hut of our own hearts and minds, in the depths of our own souls where we often fear to tread. It's far easier to stay in the bright, alluring light of distraction, surrounded by the noise and clamor of the external world, than to bravely face our inner shadows, our fears, our insecurities, and the parts of ourselves we'd rather keep hidden. True growth, true understanding, and true peace require the courage to look inside, to confront our inner darkness, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's painful, even when it forces us to confront truths about ourselves that we'd rather ignore. The lost needle, our peace, our purpose, our true selves, can only be found within the depths of our own being, in the quiet stillness of our own hearts. So, stop searching outside for what's missing inside. Cease the endless pursuit of external validation and fleeting pleasures. Instead, light a candle of awareness, a flame of self-reflection, and turn inward towards the quiet sanctuary of your own soul. The journey may seem daunting, filled with uncertainty and the potential for discomfort, but it's the only way to truly find what you seek, to uncover the hidden treasures that lie dormant within you. The world will always offer distractions, shiny objects to capture your attention and lead you astray, but true wisdom, lasting peace, and genuine fulfillment are only found in the quiet act of self-reflection, in the courageous exploration of your inner landscape. Be brave enough to look within, to confront your shadows, and to embrace the entirety of who you are. The answers you seek, the peace you crave, the purpose you long for are all waiting patiently for you, nestled within the depths of your own being. Don't be afraid of the dark. It's often in the deepest shadows that your own inner light is born, that your true potential is revealed. Begin the search inside yourself. Embark on the journey of self-discovery, and prepare to be amazed by what you find. The real treasure, the true wealth, the lasting happiness, is not to be found in the external world, but within the boundless depths of your own heart and mind. And with that thought, let's gently transition to our next story, another tale filled with wisdom and insight. Our third story, a tale woven with threads of destiny and the transformative power of compassion, awaits us. It's a narrative that explores the delicate balance between what is predetermined and the choices we make that can alter the very fabric of our existence. It's about a man who, burdened by the weight of an uncertain future, found himself at a crossroads. He was a man much like any of us, grappling with the complexities of life, and searching for meaning in a world often shrouded in mystery. After hearing from an astrologer, a seer who claimed to possess the ability to decipher the celestial map of his life, received news that would forever change his perspective. That he had only 6 months to live, a pronouncement that echoed through his soul, casting a long shadow of despair over his remaining days. The weight of this revelation threatened to crush his spirit. Walked home in despair, his steps heavy with the knowledge of his impending mortality. The world around him seemed to fade, its colors dulled by the darkness that had enveloped his heart. On his way, lost in his sorrow, he saw an anthill, a bustling metropolis of tiny creatures, about to be flooded by an encroaching stream. Their home, their world, was on the verge of being washed away. Moved by compassion, a feeling that stirred within him despite his own bleak circumstances, he dug a trench to save the ants, diverting the flow of water and creating a safe passage for the tiny creatures to escape the impending deluge. Forgetting his own troubles for a moment, he became completely absorbed in the task at hand, his focus shifting from his own mortality to the well-being of these small, vulnerable beings. Months passed, 6, then 12, and he remained alive and well, defying the astrologer's prediction and the seemingly immutable laws of fate. He continued to live, to breathe, to experience the world around him. Curious, and perhaps a little bewildered, he returned to the astrologer, seeking an explanation for this unexpected turn of events. He needed to understand how he had managed to escape the clutches of destiny. Who was shocked to see him, his face a mask of disbelief and astonishment. The astrologer's carefully constructed world of predictions had been shattered. The man recounted his act of saving the ants, describing the compassion that had moved him, and the simple act of kindness that had consumed his attention in his darkest hour. The astrologer realized, there is a higher law than fate, the law of compassion. A profound truth that resonated through the ages, a testament to the power of human kindness. A single act of selfless kindness, a moment of empathy and action, had changed the man's destiny, rewriting the stars and altering the course of his life. This story reminds us that while fate may seem fixed, like an unyielding mountain range, our choices, especially those rooted in compassion, can transform our lives, creating new pathways and possibilities where none seemed to exist before. Compassion is a force more powerful than destiny, a current that can carve new channels through the landscape of our lives. When we act selflessly, extending a hand to those in need, we create ripples that can alter the course of our lives and others, spreading outwards and touching countless souls. Even in our darkest moments, when despair threatens to consume us, kindness can bring unexpected light, illuminating the path forward. Your actions matter, each one a brushstroke on the canvas of your life, contributing to the masterpiece you are creating. Compassion can rewrite your story, transforming a narrative of despair into one of hope and resilience. Fate is not set in stone. It is fluid, malleable, and responsive to the choices we make. Choose kindness, and watch your world change, as the seeds of compassion blossom into a garden of possibilities. The universe responds to compassion, aligning itself with acts of kindness, and creating opportunities for growth and transformation. What act of kindness can you offer today? What small gesture of compassion can you extend to the world around you? Let's continue our journey, carrying this lesson of compassion with us, as we navigate the complexities of life. Our fourth story is about a man who found a cocoon of an emperor moth and decided to watch it emerge. When the moth struggled to break free, the man, wanting to help, snipped the cocoon open. The moth emerged easily, but its wings were shriveled and it never flew. The struggle was necessary. It forced fluid into the wings, preparing the moth for flight. By removing the struggle, the man took away the moth's chance to grow strong. This story is a powerful metaphor for our lives. We wish for ease, but it's our challenges that build our strength and resilience. Struggles are not obstacles. They are essential for growth. Without them, we remain undeveloped, unable to reach our potential. The next time you face a difficulty, remember the emperor moth. Embrace challenges as opportunities to grow. Don't seek shortcuts. Let the process shape you. Your wings are strengthened by adversity. Problems are not punishments, they are preparation. Growth comes through overcoming, not avoiding. Trust the process. Let your struggles make you stronger. The journey to flight requires effort. Embrace your challenges. They are your teachers. Let's move to our final story. Our final story is a Zen parable about a university professor who visited a wise master. The professor, full of his own knowledge, talked endlessly, eager to impress. The master listened quietly, then began pouring tea into the professor's cup. He kept pouring until the cup overflowed. Alarmed, the professor shouted, "Stop! The cup is full!" The master replied, "Like this cup, you are full of your own opinions. How can I show you anything new? To learn, we must first empty our cup. Set aside what we think we know." True wisdom comes from humility and openness. We often approach life with a full cup, unable to receive new insights. Let go of preconceptions and make space for growth. Listen to understand, not just to reply. Approach each experience with a beginner's mind. Only when we empty our cup can we truly learn. The greatest barrier to wisdom is thinking we already have it. Be open, be curious, and let life fill your cup anew. The journey of growth begins with an empty cup. Our journey through these stories ends, but your journey is just beginning. Which story resonated with you most? What lesson will you carry forward? Share your reflections in the comments. Your insights help us all grow. Remember, the real magic is in living these lessons, not just hearing them. Carry the wisdom into your week and let it guide you. If you found value here, consider subscribing and joining our community. Thank you for being here. Until next time, keep growing.